Let me make it as 42. Let me close this. Let me rename it as 42. And okay. So before that, let's see the we already seen, but I just want to cover through theoretically. So CSS3 web colors. What are the web colors available? We already discussed this one. What are the web colors? What are the web colors in the CSS3 or in the HTML? Web colors means if at all you are developing a web page, what are the colors you are going to use? What are the different colors? We can apply colors in how many ways? Guys, make nice because I already covered. So if you are making some nice, at least you can able to remember. Otherwise, it's very difficult to remember all these things.
Yeah, it's in 3 ways.
3 ways, that's correct. So what are those 3 ways? I already discussed.
One is like hexadecimal code.
Directly giving the name. So you can give that name in 16 primary colors ways. So the second is using RGB format. RGB format. The third is hexadecimal format. I discussed already. Hexadecimal decimal code. So let me cover a quick example on this by applying all these things. So it will be very quick example. I don't want to spend too much of time. I just have a deal. For this deal, I can apply colors in 3 ways. So the first one is background color. Let's say background color. I can say directly deal. End. I can say red. So if you run this program, you can see red. Okay, so there is a red color applied for the background of the deal. So we got it. Or you can also say background color is equal to RGB or GB. So then you will be saying if you want to apply some other color. So let's say I want to make R is 0, Z means blue. That is nothing but 255, and this one is 0. So now you will see the blue color. Yes. Okay. So it is not blue, green, right? Green. Okay. Next, if you want to apply with the hexadecimal code, you can apply with the hexadecimal code by using hash. So hash 0 FF or 00 FF 00 and FF. So this is nothing but what? RGB, blue color. So let's see whether we are getting the blue color or not. So there is a blue color. That's it. So that's it about this one. Just remember that we can apply the colors in 3 ways. That's important. That conclusion is important. Other than that, nothing great there. So let me go ahead and discuss the box model. Now I already used the box in the many places or in the many programs. So what exactly the box is? Anyone can answer? What exactly the box is now? We already discussed from last 3-4 days, or I just apply the box, all these things from last 3-4 days. Okay. Before that, let me cover one more example called line height. So this is somewhat important in the real time also, line height. So what is this meaning? Let's say I have a deal. And let me type some text here. Hello, Chennai. This is HTML5 and CSS coding, CSS3 class. Now let me apply some background color. That's nothing but blue, RGB. Now let me run this program. What again? So blue is applied. Okay. Now if you see here, let me apply some height, or let me type some lengthy text here. Lengthy text here. So there is a lengthy text here now. Let me go ahead and see the output. If you look at here, I have a lengthy text, and these are all already responsive. If you look at here, if you make bigger, so the text is expanded automatically. If you make smaller, it is expanded automatically. That's fine. Now, if you look at here, the line gap, yesterday we have seen word gap, word wrap, all these things. Now, there is something called a line height. So, I would like to have a bigger gap between the lines. I would like to have a bigger gap between the lines. So, how do we do? In the MS Word also we have, right? In the MS Word also we have that one. So, if you go here, formatting, where is the formatting? Numbers, paragraph, fonts. Okay, so there is a character spacing. This is all about character spacing. There is something called line spacing. Okay, underline. There will be something called a line spacing. Okay, so the line spacing is going to have double, triple like that, or you can specify your own length. So that comes under formatting, not under fonts. So you can look for the option called formatting. So under that formatting, you can see. That's fine. Now you can apply here. Anyway, you can see the difference here clearly. That's not a big deal. So now I am applying that line height. There is a property called line height. L-I-N-E, line hyphen height. So this line height, let's say I put 25 pixels. 25 pixels. Now let's see. Default is how much? Look at here. There is a gap increase, right? So if I put 45, you can see the big difference. Now you can see the difference. That's how you can increase or decrease the line height. Generally, this requirement is also useful because generally the line height, if you have the default one, so it is like a special kind of thing. They will ask you to little bit increase. So just remember that to increase the line height and all, there is a line height property. That's it. So let's come out from that. Smaller things I am just going faster. Okay, so let me cover this one. Web colors is over. After that, line height. Line hyphen H height. So I just now shown. I'm not writing much on that. So the next one is box model. So if you are going for an interview and if you say I am a CSS developer or web developer or web designer and all, so there should be questions or there will be questions on box model and CSS3 positions. So minimum one question should be there from the box model, minimum one question should be there in the positions. So let's understand those three as much as possible today. So therefore next is example for box model. So this is the part 44 example. Let me close the 43. Okay, so next example is box model. So what is a box model? First understand, we already applied some box, color, bar, all these things, but before that, look at here. So the example for this is box model. So the next concept is box model, CSS3 box model. And this feature is not available in the previous versions, it's a new feature. CSS3 box model, let me put it that way, so that you will understand that this is a new feature available in the CSS3. So what is the meaning of box model? So in the CSS3, whenever if you look at in this program, you are running this program. Let me run the 44 program. If you run this program, I have a div. Actually, this is what content. This is what the text, whatever you see, that is called content. On top of the content, there is a padding. On top of the padding, there is a border. On top of the border, there is called margins. That's called box model. So in the CSS3, anything, whatever you have, that's a box model. So that means so you will be having a content. This is called content. So that means this is what the content, whatever you have, whatever you see, that is called content. On top of the content, you will be able to apply. You will be able to apply what? Remember this. This is what the hierarchy you need to say. On top of this, you can apply the padding. On top of this, you can apply the padding. On top of this, you can apply. We are all did already. So only thing is that I am just trying to explain. That's it. Physically. On top of this, you can apply borders. On top of this, you can apply borders. Border. On top of this, we can apply margins. This is called a box model. So therefore, what is a box model? Box model defines, or box model help us to have content. So on top of the content, you will be having a padding. On the top of the padding, you will be having borders. On the top of the borders, you will be able to apply the margins. So therefore, box model defines 4 components or 4 elements. So this is called a margin. Box model defines 4 elements. Or box model help us to display whatever we want, like a content. On top of the content, you will be able to apply padding. On top of the padding, you will be able to apply border. On top of the border, you will be able to apply the margin. So these are all we already seen. So only thing is that you need to explain that, okay, on top of the see, content means not only text, image is also content. So therefore, if at all you have an image, that's nothing but the content. On top of that, you can able to apply the padding. On top of that, you can able to apply borders. On top of the borders, you can able to apply the margins. So that's called a CSS3 box model. That's called a CSS3 box model. It's a model, that's it. Okay, now let's see some of the examples with the CSS3 box model. So we already did, but if you can also see some more stuff. Okay. Now let's say I have a p tag. Let's say I have a paragraph tag, and I am displaying something. This is example for CSS3 box model. Then I just entered the p tag. That's fine. I just entered the p tag. That's fine. Okay. Now, okay, that's fine. I just want to show all these things, right? So even for the background also, I can div also I can show. Yeah, let's have a div or p. Whatever you want, you can have. That's not a problem. Just I want to show that, okay, there will be something this way. So you need to apply the p tag style. So the first thing is that you can apply the background color. Look at here. So if you see the content and just observe here, this is which program? Program number 45, 44. What is 43? 43 is example for this one. Okay, that's fine. So let me run the 44 program. Look at here. So right now you don't see the difference because of the reason is p tag is inheriting all the properties from the parent. So that's why let's apply some background color so that you will see the difference. Okay, so look at this. So now I have a box. So my content is displayed in the box model. That means this is what the content. So for content you can apply font size, all these things. That's a different again. So for the content you can apply font size. Font size, let's say 20 pixels. For content, you can apply font size. Let's say 20 pixels. Now it is increased. Look at here. Okay. So those are all content properties. The same way, on top of the content, what we have paddings. You can apply the padding. So padding, let's say 20 pixels. What is the meaning of adding 20 pixels? It will apply top, right, bottom, left. Now you see there is a top, right, bottom, left. So there is a gap created. That's nothing but a padding. So now after the padding, you can specify what? Borders. You can specify border. Border. What is that? Border color you can specify so that you can see the difference. If you are not specifying the color, you may not see the difference. Border color, let's say yellow. Border color yellow, and you can specify the border width. Border width or border. So you can specify 3 pixels width. Then black color. Border okay, so there are two ways. I think I did not cover this. You can just observe now. So you can apply border color is equal to yellow, then border width. You can also do this way. Border width you can specify, let's say 5 pixels. Then there is something called a border style. Border style. So I can specify solid so that I can see clearly, or I can specify dotted. So I think here there is a hyphen, it's not a colon. So now let's go ahead and see. Dotted is applied. Yellow color dotted. So instead of you split these 3 properties, you can directly combine that. How do you combine all this? How do you combine all these things? How do you combine all these 3 properties? Instead of writing these 3 properties, you can combine all these 3 properties as one property. How do you do? We already discussed. So just say border, then specify color, that's nothing but the yellow. Okay. Then give the space, then specify the width, then give the space, then specify dotted or dotted. So same thing can be achieved now. So let me put red color so that you will see the difference. Red color is applied. Red color is applied. Shashi join. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that's how you can apply. So content, on top of the content, you are able to apply the paddings. On top of that, you are able to apply the borders. Now, what is the margin? So you understood, right? This gap is nothing but the padding. So the one whatever we did, that is called, so this is called the border. And then margin. What is the meaning of margin? Now, so the simple. So instead of you apply these properties one by one, you can combine that and you can apply it. And we have seen from the beginning the second way. I just want to cover the first way also so that you may not confuse that. Okay, there are so many things. Okay, so finally there is a margin. Margin, let's say I specify 25 pixels. Generally, we will not specify all these things, but to show the difference, I am just giving that much of value. So 25 pixels. You see, there is a margin created. So before that, let me put 50 pixels. So you know margin well, because the exams and all, you take one scale, pen and all, you do margins first before you write, right? So this is called a margin. Okay, so that's about the box model. So box model is not only for the content, you can also apply for the images. Please remember this. I said this is a content. Content can be image also. So let's see one example with the image. Let's see one example with the image. Let's say I have an image. For the image, let's see how to apply borders, all these things. It's the same format. So let me go ahead and do this. And let me run this program. Let me close this. Now come back here. Okay. Now, let's say I have a p tag. That's fine. Now I am trying to put an image. Look here. I am trying to put an image. Image. So what is the syntax? You can have some class. Image class is equal to I_ID. That means image ID. This is not ID, right? This is class, image class, image class. Now I need to give what? Source. What is the source? So let's say, what are the images we have? Let's say we have logo.png, logo.png. Then close the image. So image is closed. Now let's say I have a h2 tag. Let's say I have a h2 tag. I'm saying I am from h2 tag. So now let me enter h2 tag. Okay. So right now, what is the style for P? You have these many styles. You can look at the difference. Now let me run this program. So image is coming here, there, and all. So let me reduce the margin. Let me make margin as 5 pixels. Okay, now look at this. Okay, that's fine. Now, so this is also content now. This is also content now. For content also, you will be able to apply all those properties, whatever I said. Okay. So if you want to try out, you can try it out. But same things you can paste for the image also. What is the image class? It is a class, means I need to use dot id underscore class. Then you will be defining the background color, all these things. Instead of blue, you can define some other color so that you will see the difference. Let's say red. Now save this program and run this. See, for image is also content. That's what I said. So for content, there is a padding, there is a margin. There is margin I did not apply. I just apply this one, font. Font is not required for this because there is no content. It's just an image. So therefore, I just apply the padding. So you see the padding. And if you want to apply the rest of the things, you can apply. Okay, so that's fine. Now I don't want to spend time on that. Now I would like to show one more thing. How do I center this image? How do I center this? See, I have a H2. I have a H2. Now for H2, let me apply some background so that you will see difference clearly. Okay, for H2, let me apply some background. Background color, let's say green. Now look at here. Look at this one. So therefore, this is some kind of area. This is some kind of area. In between there is the image. Now how do I center this image? If you look at here, it's not centered right now. If you want to center that image, so this example is what? Box model over box model with the image and centering, with the image and center. So what is the spelling for center? CNTR or CNTRE? Which is the correct one? Anyone? As a type, that's why there is CNTR. So both are correct only. We have something called German English and British English, all these things. German English, British English, all these things are there. Both are correct, depends upon the German and British and all. So you don't need to spend much time on that to break your head. Not only this one, liter spelling is also same. Because recently there was a big email for me also. Why are you writing this way? And another thing is that you need to see major participants when you are sending the email. If major participants are, let's say, if major participants in the email are from British English background, then you need to type the British equivalent center. Even though both are correct, so you need to type as per the number of participants. Okay, that's fine. Let me not spend time there. Now come back here. If you look at here, I would like to have this image centered. So if you would like to have that image centered, then you need to use something called margin hyphen left colon auto. So now see the difference. See, it is not centered. Okay, now you also say margin right hyphen auto. Okay, margin left auto, margin right auto. Then look at here, you don't see any difference. Now try to apply one more property called display colon BLACK black. Now see this, what happened? Am I running the correct program? I think I am running the correct program. So class background color I applied. Okay, for this background color is not required because it's an image. Okay, fine. Margin left. Padding is also not required because I don't want to do that one. Anyway, even though you have, that's not a big deal. Okay, I said display is equal to none, margin dot this and all. Then margin left, I said auto. Margin right also, I said auto. Still it is not applied. What is the reason? So let's go ahead and see whether it is applied or not. Inspect elements. Okay. So let's see if there is any bugs in that image. Look at here. Let me see what is this. Display colon. Yeah. So there is a block, not black. So that's the problem. So that is how you need to debug. Okay, we don't have any debuggers. That's how you need to debug. Okay, that is centered now. So this is the way to center if something you want. Don't say, don't write something else because the reason is the advantage if you have margin left is equal to auto, margin right is equal to auto, it will give center. The advantage with this is if you resize it right, still your image will be center only. Still your image is center only. That's the advantage. Nothing more than that. Okay, so that is about how to center the this one. Now, as I said, you can also apply the borders, all this, whatever you want. You can very well apply. If you use center tag, it will do the same thing, right? Yes, it will do the same thing, but when you apply this one, right, borders, all these things, then you will have the challenges. So the margins, it will for margins, borders, and paddings, it ignores some space, or it considers the space. If that measures are considered, then it is not center-aligned automatically. You can see the results as center-aligned, but if you see the measures, no. So that's why. So if you have too many measures applied for that image, let's say padding, that, these and all. Let's say let me apply some padding. Okay, padding colon. Let's say what is the padding? You can also apply padding. Padding means what? Top right, left right. You can specify your own measures. Top is 20, right is top is 10, right is 20, then bottom is 30, left is 40. This is what I am trying to say. Now you have different measures, and if you have center, then if you look at here, left you have something else, right you have something else. Then there is a slight difference when it is centered. That's why you say auto. When you say auto, it calculates automatically what is the left, what is the right and all, and it is center, it displays centers. That is the advantage. Okay, that is the advantage. So that's why whenever you want to, yeah, that is good only. Okay, so whenever you want to apply too many parameters for the image, that's why I would like to cover that one. Whenever you are applying too many parameters for that, you can also simply say center, but when you say center, when you apply too many parameters, the calculations are little bit tricky, and it is not going to be centered. You can see result as a centered, but if you see the exact calculations, right, the math calculations, it may miss. But if you have different parameters like this, and if you say margin left is equal to auto, right is equal to auto, it calculates automatically all the things, what is the left, what is the right, still it will display the centered. That's the advantage. Okay, so that is what it is. Padding, that's fine. You can also apply border color. What is that? border. You can apply color. I mean, just now I've shown you already. Border color, let's say red. Border color is equal to let. It is applied, but there is no width, right? So that's why it is not showing. So let me apply the width. See, border color I applied, but I am not able to see because of the reason is there is no width. So specify the width, then you can see. Let's say 3 pixels. So border style also you can specify. Border style black or solid. SOLID. Let's see why it is not applied. Okay. Image. Now coming to here, border solid. Spelling is mistake. SOLID. What happened? Not border. Border spelling is correct. Wrong. Border. BORDER. Border hyphen. What is that? Style. What's that? Okay. I can type it here directly. I think there is spelling mistake. So it's not body. This is border. Border style is equal to solid. Now you can see that. So instead of all these things, we can apply simply border, that 3 parameters continuously, like this. So we already discussed this. So that's about the image box model. These are the maximum things in the box model. If you want to move slightly down, up, what is the? So that's what the margin, right? Margin you can apply padding. You can say if you want to, you know the padding, right? Padding is what? Top, right, bottom, left. So you want to move up and down, right? Up and down means what? You make left is equal to 0, right is equal to 0. At the top and the bottom you can specify whatever you want. Got it, Shiva? Shiva is there? Okay, so you can use many ways. I know. That's fine. So today there is a 10 a.m. there is a class for the UI5. I sent the meeting details and all. 10 a.m. So you can calculate accordingly your time. 10 a.m. there is a UI5 class. I'm not going to take that class. I arrange one trainer for you. Okay. If he is good, then he will be helping you guys. Okay, please attend that class and see. 10 a.m. we have a class. So I send you the meeting invite, all these things. If anyone did not receive, please just ping me. Okay, so you might be getting bored with me, so that's why I arranged one more guy. Okay, let's go ahead and see. So the next one is background image. We already seen many times. Do I need to repeat again? Background image. So sometimes you may see something like this, right? Background image. Background image. So it is nothing. Just let me remove all these things. I have a div something. So let me go and run this program. 46, right? Sometimes what you do is that you are going to display your image, you are going to apply, or you will be applying some background image for your entire page. Some background image for your entire page. So let's see what kind of images I have. Logo.png, that is fine. Then what else we have? This is what? Puri.png, let's apply. Background body style. is equal to, now you should be writing wherever you want. You can write inline, you can write internal, you can write external, what, all these things. So just write wherever you want, depends upon your convenience. But generally, whenever you write in CSS, right, put it in outside. That means external, so that if someone wants, they can use it. Okay, that's fine. Background, body, background image is equal to background image. You can specify the URL. What is that? What is the name of that file? Fiori.png colon. This one is, there is extra colon here. Now let's see your image is applied to the background or not. What happened? Body. So something is missed out. Maybe I have the spelling mistakes. Let's look at here. What is this? Where is my background? Let me just give me a minute. I can go to the coding. So this is this one, instead of style style, background background image. It's not equal to, it will be colon. Yeah, you are right. Colon URL. Then let me check the file name. This is Fiori. What is the extension? This is JPG. That's the issue. Not PNG. JPG. So you need to be very careful. Otherwise, it's, I mean, debugging this is very difficult. Now you see. So sometimes you develop the website on top of some background image. That means you will be applying light background image. On top of that, you will be putting this. I don't have that kind of background images. I just applied whatever I have. So the goal of this program is, just remember that whenever some people, I'm not telling all the peoples, some peoples, they develop their website on top of light shaded image. Maybe they apply some light background, something. Maybe they take this kind of backgrounds. Let me just create one kind of background. What is it? Let me take this one. Then fill color. Okay. And very light color, maybe this one. Fill color. Yeah. Okay. They take this kind of background. Okay, so you might have been some sites which is having some light background, right? So it will be very light. Maybe I will reduce like this. One second. Okay. Then take this one and apply it here. Yeah, it's like this. Light background. Sometimes you see this kind of this styles. So just remember that you will be just applying background image, nothing more than that. This background and image and all generally designers will give. Okay, so let me minimize this. Okay, so now let me save this as logo1.png. So that's done. Okay, now instead of Fiori and all, now you can have logo.png. Logo1.png. Now you will see. That's what I am trying to say. Sometimes you see these kind of websites. The reason is that is what they would like to have. So they just apply some background, all these things. So that's about the background image. Let me type it here. We have seen what else we have seen. What is that? Box model with the image and center C and TR. That's fine. So the next one is background hyphen image. That's also we have seen. So text align we already seen, right? Text align. Do you want me to give the examples? Text align. What are the parameters? Left, right, and all. Text ALIGN. You may have left or right and so on. So you can look at here itself. In this example itself, let's cover that. Background image and text align. ALIGN. So if you see here, there is a div. For div, let me apply background. If you want to see the differences, you have to apply the background. Then only you will see the differences. Otherwise, it's very difficult for you to observe the differences, even though it is applied. So background color, let me apply green. Okay, now it is applied the green. What happened? No, there is no div. It is a H2. There is no div here in this program. There is a H2. So there is a green applied. So if you want to apply that text, all these things, text hyphen ALIGN colon right side. Now the text is going to display in the right side. That is the right side. So that's all. So let me come out from here. So then there is something called nested divs. Now you need to understand one thing. There is a slight difference. There is something called div and span. So nested divs. What is the meaning of nested div? Div inside the div is called nested div. Okay. So div inside the div is called nested div. So let me cover one example with the nested divs. I just by mistakenly close. Just make some noise whenever I say, so that you will not get sleep, otherwise you will sleep. Okay, so the next one is nested divs. If you have any jokes, you can crack so that others also picks up. So anything, nested div means what? Nested loop means loop inside the loop. Nested div means div inside the div. Nested span means span inside the span. That's fine. Now let me see the example for the nested div. How many are done till now? 46. This is 47. Okay, rename this one, and this will be 47. Edit in Notepad++. Nested divs. Nested divs. Okay, so what is the meaning of nested div? Let's say I have a div. Okay, let me give the names also, IDs also, so that it will be easy for us to apply some kind of background colors and all, so that you will see the difference. Okay, div art is equal to, this is outer div, that means first div. So I am outer div. So inside that I am applying another div. Div ID is equal to inner div, I underscore div. So inside that I am typing I am inner div. Okay, you can close this one. You can close the outer one. Now you can see the difference. Let me run this program. 47. So the result is same. But even if you apply the results, still it is same. But I would like to show the difference between span and div so that you can understand. So even if you apply colors, dark, this and all, still you will see that way only. So O underscore, this is ID, right? So has O underscore ID. Let me apply background color. Say, let's say blue. Next to O, I underscore div. Let me apply the background color. Once you write the CSS right, then you will feel very comfortable. Okay. So now let me run this. So this is what the story is. So even though it is the inner div and outer div, still you will see the results as the divs only. But remember that there is the inner divs and outer divs. We'll see how to use those in coming days. Okay. So now there is something called span. What is the difference between div and span? That is the question. So this question most of the interviewers ask. So there is something called span. 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 So now the question is what? What is the difference between? Okay. What is the difference between anyone? Span, SPAN, span and div. Anyone can answer? If you know already. Okay. So let's go ahead and rename the program. Span can apply part of text. Okay. What else? That is somewhat correct, but still. Okay, let me rename this as 48. 48. Now, let me just click on edit. So div and span. So look at here. The first thing is that let me type the theory so that you understand when I give the example. So the div is or span is similar to the div, but span is an inline element and div is the block element. Okay, what does that mean? Let me tell you. Okay, span, the first point is span is similar to, let me put as capital letters, span is similar to div with smaller scale. What does it mean? So that means what? Let's say you have too many divs and you would like to apply small colors like that, then you will go for the span. So, or let me put it in this way. Let me put it in this way. Span is the inline element and div is the block element. Span is this is the actual difference. Inline element and div is the block element. B-L-O-C-K, block. It's not black. Block element. So what is the difference between block element and inline element? We'll see after a few minutes. What is the difference between block element and inline element? We'll see after a few minutes. But just remember that span is the inline element. What is the meaning of inline element? I'll show you. So let's say we have a div. Assume that we have a div. Inside the div, I am writing a content. So like I am inside div. I am inside div, and full stop. This is my CSS3 class. This is my CSS3 class demo. This is what my div is, and this particular area, I would like to apply some styles. Then, so you will be specifying that one inside the span. So span, let's say class or ID, you can have whatever you want. depends upon your situation. Then let's end the span here. Let's end the span here. So now you can apply what you want for the span. So this is a class, therefore use the dot. Okay, then apply background text color COLOR, color is red. Now look at this, I'm running this program. See, look at here, this is what the red color is displayed. So what does it mean here? If you see here, the div creates entire block. So let me apply the background color, you will see the difference. So that's what the meaning of block. ID underscore, this is the ID, right? So this is the hash O underscore div. Now apply what is the meaning of block and inline. Background color is equal, let's say blue. Look at this. See, this is what the meaning. So if you look at the code, try to understand please. If you look at the code, I just have a div, and how much text I have? This much of text I have. Even though I have small text, still my entire area is occupied. That's why we are calling it as a block. That means from your space, it's going to take entire block. So therefore, div is a block element. So that means it will take entire block. Even though you have less text, it's not a matter. It's going to take entire block. That's why we are calling div as the block level element. And if you look at here, the other one, span is the inline element. So if you look at here, this is nothing but the span. Is it moving to next line? Is it taking separate space? No, it's not taking any separate space. You can just apply inline. So therefore, if you want to apply some styles and are inline, so then the best procedure is span. The best method is span. So this question, most of the interviewers are asking, what is the difference between span and inline div, or when to use div, when to use span. So div is a block level element and span is an inline element. So if you see div, even though we have one word, it occupies the entire block of the space. It occupies the entire block of the space. But in case of span, it's not. So whatever it requires, it takes. That's why we are calling it as an inline element. Inline element. So inline means it just fit wherever you want. Inline. So that's about the difference between block. What is that? Divs and spans. SPAN. What is the difference between div and span? So when to use the span? So whenever you want to apply small colors in between div or for particular text, and you want to perform something on particular text, then you will be using span. And if you want to, whenever you make it as div, even though it is not required and all, it is going to take entire block of space. So that's why div is block level element and this is an inline element. Okay, so we'll talk about more on the block level element, inline element in the next few minutes. So that's about this one. The next program is, can we use the font also, right? Where? For the span, yeah, everything you can use. Look at here. Yeah, that is another question. What Keshav is asking is, yes, that's correct. Your question is valid. So if you look at here, he's saying we applied the color, right? Now can we apply some font? Yes, you can apply. Only that particular area you can display in a different way. Font size. So let's say you want to display with 24 pixels. That particular text only will display 24 pixels. Look at here. Oh, so sorry. This is applying for entire thing. Let's say font family. I think it will not affect. Let's see font family. Yeah, font family. Let's say Vardhana. Vardhana. Look at this one. I think it will not affect entire block. See, no, font is applying to both. Oh, sorry. The reason is I need to apply inside the span. It's not span. I am applying inside the div. That's the problem. So that's what I was just wondering why it is increasing. Font size. Let me make it as 24 pixels. Let me make it as 24 pixels. Look at here. Only that particular area is increased. only that particular area is increased. I hope I answered your question, right? So let me go ahead and move to the next concept. So that's the advantage with the span. Span is the inline element, and if you want to apply some text or some styles on your own in between for some particular text for specific requirement, then you will be going for the span. Now let's see some effects. This is some important thing. Even in the real time, also we use most of the times. How to apply some effects. Okay, let's go ahead and see how to apply the effects. Example for special effects. So what does it mean? Let's take the example. So let's say you might have been seeing most of the websites, the links, right? hrefs. Let me create a link. A is equal to href. Let's say I'm saying google.com, http://google.com. Then I need to display some name. Click click here for Google. Then enter the tag. Now let me give. Okay. Now let me run this program. See the difference. I run this program, and when I hover, do I see any styles? No, I don't see. When I click, is the color is changed? Nothing is changed. Nothing is changed. Look at here. But in the real time, it's not. When you hover, you will see different color. When you click, it is going to show different color. So how to do that special effects? That's the program I am trying to do. So let's say a colon. It's a colon. Whenever I say colon, these are called pseudo classes. Even in the previous example also, one of the example I applied a colon. Did you notice? I expected someone will ask, but no one asked. So here A is what? Previously, how are we writing the slides? So if I want to apply style for the A tag, I am just using like that. But now I am using colon link. So link. So right now we have a link, right? So that link by default I want to have red color. Color is equal to red. Color is equal to red. Now look at this. Let's see whether it is changed to red color or not. It is changed to red color. When I hover, do I see any effect? No, I don't see. A colon. There is something called forward. Now you change the color. You might have been seeing these requirements in your websites because most of the guys are, all the guys are experienced guys only. So let's say when I hover, I make it as green. When I hover, I make it as green. Look at this. See, it is changed to green. It is changed to green. And remember this, even though this kind of features available in the HTML, don't do in the HTML, try to do in the CSS. HTML, most of the cases, it is heavy. Okay. So do this one, green is changed. Now, when I click on this one, you have something called visited nodes, non-visited nodes, right? Let's say you have bunch of the links. Once you click on that, the link color is going to be changed. What does it mean? You already visited this link like that, right? So I want to have that kind of thing. So there is something called visited, visited. There is something called visited. So for visited, I am saying color is equal to gray color. So therefore, once it is visited, you can see gray color. So right now it is red color, hover green color. Now I visited this. Now let's see I have a green color or not, gray color. So you will not see the difference because of the reason is page is refreshing. Page is refreshing. So instead of this, let me do this way. Let me not to go anywhere. Okay. Let me not to go anywhere. What happened? Why it is not? Okay. So there is a double quotes miss. That's the problem. Okay. Now see this. Hover blue color. Now I click on this one, visited. You see gray color now. You see the difference? I click on this. I click on this means visited. For visited, what is the color? I applied gray color. That's what you see, the gray color. I don't know whether you see the difference or not. Let me apply the yellow color so that you see the difference. Okay, what happened?
Yes.
The problem is it is visited. Okay, let me run the program again. Okay. So that's another problem. It is cached. Okay. It is cached. That's the problem. So I don't want to clear the cache right now. Okay. How do we get that? Because it's saying now it is a visited. That's the problem. Now there is something called refresh function FI, right? Alt function FI, open in Firefox. Yeah, that is the smart answer. That's the smart answer. Okay, I like that. Anyway, you have seen the difference, right? I don't need to worry much. Okay, the problem is it is added the stash. What is this? It should not. Why it is? It did not do that way. Okay, now fine. Okay, so now it is red color, hover, green color, click, yellow color. That means it is a visited. So that's a simple concept. Let's not spend too much of time on that. So that's how you can make it, all these things, blah, 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 blah. That's all about. So any questions till now? So whatever we are discussing these every day in the real time, all the people use this. So let's remember as much as possible. So the last concept, whatever we discuss, is nothing but what? Special, SPECIAL, special effects. What are the special effects we did? Like for anchor tag, we applied a colon, what is that, visited, or a colon hover, or a colon link, all these things. So these are pseudo classes. What is the meaning of pseudo classes? If you look at here the previous examples, let's see the previous example. Let's take this example. So the class you are defining inside the HTML. So you are defining the class like this. So you can also define the class here itself. So if you define the class, or if you are telling this class here itself, then it is called the pseudo classes. So sometimes these are already having the meaning, and these are written in the background as a pseudo classes. That's why we are using it. When I hover means what? This is like an event. So I am doing something. So when I hover, I am changing the color. So these kind of things you will be calling it as pseudo classes. You will be calling it as. So just there is a different name for that. That's it. Nothing more than that. So these are also called as pseudo, PSUDO. What is the spelling for pseudo? PSEDO, pseudo class, pseudo classes. Why we are calling it like this? Why we are calling like this? Like that. So the answer is why we are calling like that. The answer is in HTML we are not applying those classes, and these are part of the CSS. In HTML we don't have those classes, and we are using those inside CSS directly. We are using those inside the CSS directly, and it is having some meaning. So that kind of stuff they are calling it as pseudo classes. Visited, there is a spelling mistake. Let me remove this. Visited. Okay, that's fine. Now, just now I said something called block level element and inline element. Let's talk more about on that. Block, B-L-O-C-K, block and inline elements. Block and inline elements. So this is very much important content. Just now we have seen example. So let's talk more about on this. So what are the differences between block and inline elements? So we can also call it as CSS3 positions. Okay, anyway, I'll give separate heading for that because that's a very much important question most of them are asking. So in the entire HTML or in the entire web page, we have two types of elements. We have two types of elements. What are the two types? So the first one is block level element, block elements. So example for block elements are what? Examples for block elements. Just now we have seen. What are the examples? Yes, div is an example, your body is an example, your P is an example, your H1 is an example, like that. All these are block level elements. All these block level elements will take entire space. You can observe the difference. Your div, P, all these things are block level elements. The second one is inline elements. Inline elements, just now we have seen example, that's nothing but span. Okay, that's fine. That is the first one. The second one is, now let's look at this. Okay. I think 51, I typed it. Okay. Do we have the 50? Yes, there is a 50 also. That's fine, yeah. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here, yeah, let me take one div and let me take one span so that you will see the difference. Or we already have it, right? Let me take that and run here and there. So which example is that? 47? Div and span. 48, I think. Yeah, 48. So let's understand these differences because these are very minor, but you have to understand, otherwise there is no meaning for this entire CSS. Okay, fine. Let me apply one more div. So this is div 1. Okay, please look at here. Let me not touch this because this is plain purpose, right? Yeah. Let me create one test program because I don't want to play with that. You can play very well, that's not a problem. So let me copy this one and paste and say this as a, what is the number we have right now? 49.1, right? 49-1. Okay. So let's look at here. So now we are discussing about block and inline. B-L-O-C-K, block and inline elements. So let me remove the CSS whatever I have written. If anyone is sleeping, please wake up, otherwise you will not understand anything. So let's say I have a div, ID is equal to first div, ID is equal to 1. So let me write for I am div 1, div1. I am div 1, I am ending this. Okay, let me say I am writing one more div, ID is equal to 2. Then I am saying I am div 2. Let's end this. Okay, so now I am ending this. Okay, now, so I have two divs, that's fine. I have two divs, that's fine. Now let me have two spans also, so that you will see the difference. Span ID is equal to S1, span 1. I am SPAN, span 1, end the span. Okay, now span ID is equal to S2. Now see the difference. So this is the difference between div and span, and also difference between inline and block. So for both it answers. If anyone asks the question, what is the difference between span and div, you can explain the same. If anyone asks what is the difference between block and inline, still you can explain the same. I am span 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 2. End the span 2. End here also. Okay, now come back here. So let's apply some colors, otherwise you will not see the difference. Okay, so if I am run this program, you may not see much differences. So let's apply the colors so that you will see the differences. Okay, now let's go ahead and do. So the first one is 1. So #1, sorry, #1. So let me apply the background color. Background color, let's say green. So #2. Let me apply some background color, and that's nothing but yellow. That's nothing but yellow. Now see the difference. Now I am running this program. Look at here. This is the div. What is happening here? What is happening here? This is a div. This is a block level element. Even though you have small amount of text, still it takes the entire block. Okay, still it will take the entire block. Now let me apply some colors for the span also and see. Okay, span is what? #S1. You can apply the background color. What is the color we need? Red. Span S2. What is the color we need? What is Shiva, your favorite color? Shiva, what is your favorite color? When are you there? You are sleeping. Sai, what is your favorite? White. Who is having white? Okay. Fine. Fine. Now look at here. That's the difference. Okay. Look at here. So there is a div. There is another div. So if you look at this one, div, even though you have small text, it takes the entire block. Another div, even though it is a small, it takes the entire block. But span is not like that. It will be one after one. That is the advantage with the span and div. Now let me put it in the words. Now how do you write? So how do you write? Span, or what is that? Block level element. Block element. Block level element. What it happens? It will take entire. See, whatever I shown here, I am putting in the words because this explanation is very much important. Interviewers are asking the same. It will take entire block of space. Block of space, and it will take from left to right. Okay, so that is the first thing. What is the second thing? It will take its own space. It will take entire block of space from left to right. That is the fine. And the other thing is that div, if you look at here, the block level elements is one by one. So that first block level element, then next block level element. So block level elements are always one by one. So these okay, pull stop left to right, and these will be one by one, not one after one. It's one by one, and it's like a top to bottom. See, one by one, top to bottom. Okay. So I know what is the importance of these small points, but if you are understanding the taste of these small points, then you will have a lot of value. Don't ignore this theory. Okay, fine. what I am trying to say, top to bottom. Left to right means the space I am talking about. The space is left to right, entire block. The divs are arranged one by one, top to bottom. That's what the meaning. If you look at here, this first point is space. Space is left to right. And if you see, the divs arranges one by one, bottom to top to bottom. That's what the meaning is. And the other one is, other one I will talk. I want to show the other one, inline element. So mentally fixed for today's class nearly 2.5 hours. Okay. Okay, fine. The inline element just now we have seen. So these are what? It will not take entire block of space. Okay. So it will not take entire block of space, and these will be one after one or side by side. Side by side. One after one. Side by side. Side by side means that is what? Look at here. So span, then immediately another span. So did I write any logic for that? No, I don't have any logic. So the span behaves like that. It will not take entire space. That is a good advantage with the span. Now you decide when do you want to use span, when do you want to use div. Now I would like to show one more difference. This is some beautiful difference. How do I cover in the example? Okay. So let me. The thing is that let's say look at this one. I am trying to apply some margin. Margin colon. Look at here. Margin colon. Let's say 20 pixels. Please observe the difference. See, when you say margin colon 20 pixels, it applied left side, sorry, top, right, bottom, and left. Where I applied for div. Let me apply the same thing for span. Let me apply the same thing for span. Please look at the difference. See, it did not apply on the tab. It did not apply on the bottom. If you have one more thing, then you will see the difference. Look at this. If you have one more thing, then you will see the difference. And one more div. Let me have one more div. 1, 2 slash div. Now look at this. See, look at here. So the next one is started immediately. That means what? Even though you apply margin 20 pixels, it will not apply for top and bottom. It will apply only left and right. Please remember this conclusion. This is a beautiful conclusion. Okay, I am repeating this again because okay, you should know when to use what. Okay, now look at here. So this is what currently. So let me take the print screen. Okay, so this is what currently. Now what is the next step? I am trying to apply a margin here for second tab or second div. Second div. So what is that? Let's say 20 pixels. Generally we will not apply 20 pixels and all. To show more difference, I am just applying. Now look at this. So it applied top, right, bottom. That's why space is created, and also left. So let me take the print screen and put it here. Now this is the second one. This is the second one. Now you can see the difference. Now let me apply the same margin for span. Now look at this. See, there is no space allocated on the top. There is no space allocated on the bottom. If it is allocated in the bottom, obviously this will be moved somewhere else, like this. See, for this, bottom is allocated, so that's why you will see the space here. But span will not create the space on the top and bottom. Only it creates the space left and right. Please remember this. This is the conclusion I would like to have for the divs and spans. Okay, so that's all about. Now you can see the differences. Okay, so if someone asks what is the difference between div and span, you can tell the same differences. If someone asks what is the difference between block level elements and the inline elements, you can give the same. So the third conclusion is what? Let's say margin colon 20 is applied. This will be applied for top, right, bottom, and left. That means what? All. What are those called? All four sides it will apply. So whoever having their favorite color white, you know their mentality, right? There is one article on colors codes and their mentality. You can go and read. Who are having their favorite color white, they are the best guys in terms of mentality. Okay, you can go and read the article called color codes with human mentality. Who are having their color code as their favorite color as white, they are the best guys in the world. Okay, fine. Now come back here. So if I say margin colon 20 pixels, so it will apply where? Left. This will be applied. Now everyone will say white. Don't say white and all. Have your own color code. Don't worry, even though you are a guy. This will be applied for what is that? Left and right. Right only. So it will not apply top and bottom. That's all about block and the inline elements. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask me. You want 2-3 minutes break, or do I continue? The first answer I will consider. Whatever is the first answer, I will go with that. Okay. So 3 minutes break. Now it is 8:25. 8:25. 8:28 will be reached again. So drink more water so that and there is a relationship between water and remembering capacity. Go and read that again. So if you drink more water, it increases your remembering capacity. This is a proven theory. That's what the reason in the hostels, whenever you study, right? They'll say go and drink water, go and drink water. So go and drink the water so that you will remember more. Okay, I'm back. Everyone? Everyone is back?
Yes, sir. No.
This is there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shiva? Keshav? Okay. Sai there. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Okay. So let me show you the other one. I don't know whether I can show in this example or not, but there is one more beautiful difference. Because of the reason is in most of the codings I don't see the people are applying div and span correctly. Most of the cases they just go with the div. Please remember that if you are using div, maybe that situation is correct, but still it is taking the space, that, this and all. And there is one more difference I would like to show you. How do I show? Okay, let me put it this way. Let me remove these margins. Let me remove this margin also. Let me show you the output. That's fine. Now, let me say here, you remember the float is equal to left, right? Float left. You remember, right? Look at this. This is what the meaning. Okay. So, and there is one more thing called here. Look at this one. Float is equal to left. That's fine. And there is something called what do I say? Display block. Let me say. Yeah. Yes. Let's go ahead and see. Please look at this one. I would like to show some difference here. Please look at the. Okay. Let me not apply float also. Yeah, I got it. Let me show you how to. I would like to create an example for that. That's what I'm trying to see. Okay. Now look at here. This is a div. This is a div, right? Is there any gap between the divs? No. This is a span. This is a span. Let me bring this span to next line. So how to? Now span is what? Inline. I'm bringing to next line means what? I'm converting into block. So display colon block. Now look at this. Look at the difference. Okay. Now, so that is the entire block. Now let me make this as a this also block. Display colon block. So that means what? You can convert inline elements into block level elements. That's the meaning. You can convert inline elements into block level elements. That's what the meaning. But should create some space. That's what I'm just wondering. Okay. Anyway, fine. I'll show you in some other space. In one more example, I'll show you that one. Because here it's not. I'll show you that one in one more example. That's fine. So let's have like this till now. Okay, that's fine. So let's go ahead and see the next example. So the next example will be 50th. I typed some of the examples yesterday. So let me go and run those examples. So these are just extension for that. So 50th example, right? Let me run this. I think I just now explained everything. So I just go and run this quickly. So this is what I would like to show the difference. Look at here. Yeah. Look at here. I have an image. I have another image. I have an image. I have another image. Okay. So let me not apply any styles right now. If I am not applying any styles right now, this is how it is going to display. Okay. So let me apply the padding background color. padding and background color. Now look at here. This is how it is. So what is happening? Border is equal to black. I applied, and border width border is equal to black. I applied, and the width is equal to what? 3 pixels, and the solid. Solid means the thin line will come. So background color blue. So that's what you see, blue color. That's fine. There is something called display block. So right now, one after one. One after one means these are what right now? See, as per our theory, one after one, one by one. Those are what? Inline elements. So if those are inline elements, then how do you convert into block elements? If you want to convert inline elements into block elements, you are going to say display block. Now save this and run this. See? And remember this, the one more point is, so when it was inline element, you see the gap. When it was inline element, you see the gap. If you convert into block level element, you will not see that gap. That's what I would like to cover. So what is this meaning? Browser puts space for the inline elements. Browser puts space for the inline elements when you apply display block. When you apply display block, and this space will be removed. Okay, so that's the another one. So there is something called browser put space between inline elements, full stop. If we use display colon block, then BLOCK block, then you won't see that space. You won't see such a space. So that means what? So the question is how to convert inline element into block element. How to convert inline element into block element? What is the answer? Display colon block. That's it. That is the answer. So that's the example. So let me go close it because I spent enough time on that. Let me go to the next one. So the next one is float and floating element. Floating element I already shown many times. In the CSS floating I shown, that project also, mini project also we did, right? So therefore we already discussed on that. Anyone see the difference? Because I am getting some warning. Everyone is able to hear me? Everyone is able to see my screen? Guys there?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So
Yes.
we already discussed about. Okay, thank you. We already discussed about float elements or floating elements. We already discussed about this one. Float left, float right, and all. Hope you remember, right? So I just want to run this example. Look at here. Let me run this example. Okay, look at this one. Forget about the CSS. First, let's remove the CSS. So what I am having here? I am having a div1. I am having another div. Sorry, I am having h1. I am having div1. I am having div2. I am having h2. I am having page type. So if I run this one, so this is what output. h1, div, div2, heading, and this one. Now let me apply few CSS. Okay, let me apply few CSS. Now look at here. What is happening? So I just applied, look at this one, the code whatever we have. So this is a H1. For H1, what is the color, background color I applied? Blue, so that's why you see blue. So font color, sorry, background color green, font color blue, so that's why you see like this. For div1, background color is what? Red and white, red and white. For div2, black and white, that's why black and white. For H2, green and red, green, red. For P, I just have a border. I did not apply the background color. That's fine. Now if you look at here, this div, there are two divs here, 1, 2. So these divs are one by one. How to make one after one? How to make one after one? We already seen. How to make one after one. Guys, there, wake up.
Yes, one by one.
Sorry? What is that? Yes, float is the answer. Place one by one. Yes, you can place whatever you want. That is correct. So even village guys also can place whatever they want, but that's not the answer. So we need to apply float. So if you look at here, okay, if you look at here, okay, let me apply the first one first. I would like to show two differences here. This is one important one. So the answer is float. That's correct. So now divs are coming one by one. So I don't want one by one. I want to convert one after one. Okay, let me remove this also. Now see the difference. What is happening? So what did I do? If you look at here, so background color is equal to white. Fine, that's fine. Width I applied 300 pixels. So and the float I said left. So if you look at here, so now this one. So if you observe here, nothing. I applied the width of the div1. Div1 I said 300 pixels, and obviously I said float is equal to left. So the right side space is going to be empty. That's what I said. Block level elements will take entire space. If you want to remove that space, then you can apply float is equal to left. I said float is equal to left, and immediately I said width is equal to 300 pixels. So therefore, for this div, 300 pixels will be assigned. So rest of the space will be free. So that's why your div2 move to here. Move to here. That's fine. Now, so I said float is equal to left. Now let me apply. Look at the difference. For div2, that means for this, I am saying float is equal to right. Or let me apply the same property. Look at here, width is equal to 300 and the float is equal to right, I said. Look at here, width is equal to 300 and the float is equal to right, I said. div1 is taking 300 and div2 is also taking 300. Now if you look at the difference, see, look at div is fine, div1 is fine, div2 is arranged in the right, and there is a space in between. That's why your head also moved to there. You got the conclusion, right? If you look at here, div1, div2. Now I am making div2 as right align, or div2 float right. That means it is going to arrange the right side. Right side with what width? 300 pixels. So that means still there is a gap. That gap is going to fill with your next element. What is your next element? H2. Your next element is H2. That's why H2 is filled. Now how do I avoid that? I don't want to fill the H2. I want to have only divs in that. So if you want to have only divs, better use the percentages. Better use the percentages instead of using that pixels. If you use the pixels, the meaning is it is fixed. So to avoid that, use the percentages. avoid that, use the percentages. Now look at here. Right now this is what the output. I just said div1 is 50% left and div2 is 50% right. So those are taken 50% and 50%. Now if you arrange, it's beautiful. Okay, it is responsive. That is how you can apply float, ref is equal to right, left, all these things. So that's about the float, left, right, dot, these and all. So let me go here. So what are the values? Float, colon, left you can say, or you can specify right. So those are about floating elements. Now there is something called CSS3 positions. Please remember this. This also most of them are asking. Positions. We have so many positions. The first one is static. Please remember this. This is default. DEFAULT. So that means till now whatever we have, those are CSS3 static positions. I'm just giving conclusion because I'm not going to cover any example. Till now whatever we did, those are called static positions. Your div is having static position, your elements are having static position, your block is having static, everything is static position. Default is static. Then we have one more thing called absolute position. Then there is one more thing called relative position. Then there is one more thing called fixed. Okay, there is one more thing called fixed. There is one more thing called inheritance. There is one more thing called initial. But inheritance and initials are not important. The first four are important. Out of the four, first one is default, so we don't need to spend the time. Now we need to understand what is the absolute, what is the relative, what is the fixed. Okay, so let's see some of the examples. Absolute. Okay, let's see what is the next example. 52. Let me edit this. Let me close this. Okay, if it is heavy for you guys, let me know. Anyway, even though it is heavy, we have to continue. I don't have any option because target is target. If you want me to cover all these examples, obviously you need to spend the time. If you don't want all these examples, that's fine. We can skip and we can say that the CSS is over. Which one you want, when? When whatever says, that is the correct answer. If when says we don't need, we can close it and we can wind up.
I'm fine to continue.
Okay, so how much fine you are going to pay to me? Okay, let's come back. So there is absolute position. So this is example for absolute position. If you look at here, please remember this. I have a div, I have a P. And if you look at here, I applied for P, I applied background color, that's nothing but the red. And font color, that is nothing but the blue, that is how you can see. Now coming to the div. For div, I applied background color is equal to blue, that's why you see blue color, white and all. And the position I said absolute. When you say position is equal to absolute, and whatever positions you specify, in those positions your div will be displayed, that's it. Static means what? We are not controlling, it is a default. So however you have that float, that, this and all, it will display. Till now whatever we have seen, those are called statics. Position absolute means you can specify some parameters, top, left, right, width, height and all. Based on that it will display. So therefore absolute will help. That's what, if you see the output also, so for that top is equal to 200, these and all there, based on that it displays here. So therefore I give one more difference for the absolute. Okay, so therefore what is the meaning of absolute? Absolute arranges elements in specified positions. That's the meaning of absolute. Means absolute means complete. Relative means absolute path and relative path. We have two, right? Absolute path means from the beginning. So absolute arranges elements in specified positions. Okay, that's fine. There is something called fixed, right? So let's see the example. Let's see the example. Let me run this. Okay, so if you look at here, I have a div1, I have a div2, I have a div3. For div1, I applied some colors. Why background color is not applied? Okay, that's fine. This is applied already. Only thing is that, see, look at here. Look at here. Background color div2 black, background color div3 green. That's what it is applied. So now if you see position is equal to fixed, let me not to have these two. You see the difference, right? Look at the difference. Now I am applying position is equal to fixed. What does it mean? Position is equal to fixed. See, that's the beauty of the fixed. You understand the difference, right? Guys, please wake up, because I'm sure this question any interviewer will ask. If you say I'm good at CSS, can you explain the positions? And default is static. So with static, whatever you do, that's the behavior based on your however you arrange it. The absolute help us to put the element in specified positions. Fixed means, let's say I don't have anything right now. I just applied background color for the div. So it is taking entire space. If you don't want to take entire space and you want to make it as fixed, position is equal to fixed means it will take space whatever content we have. This is one beautiful example. Okay, whatever content you have. And if you want to apply top, bottom and all, some spacing. Top is 10 pixels. So you see the top and this one is applied. That's it. The same thing for the div2 also. Position is equal to fixed. Let me not to have. If you don't have, what happens? See this? It is applied entire space. It is applied entire space. If you don't want to apply entire space, then apply this one. Position is equal to fixed and the top is equal to 50. Top is equal to 50 means it will come somewhere else down. Somewhere else down. Okay, and left is equal to 20, so that's why it is 20 left. The same thing for the third one also. And remember this, one more advantage. Do you see one more difference? Divs will come one by one, right? But if you see third div, obviously it has to display here somewhere else, but it is not displaying, it is going for the beginning. That means what? These divs, once it is having fixed, then it will not take entire space. That's why your divs are moving to beginning. That's why you need to specify positions of the top and left so that it will display. So now I said top is equal to somewhere else 90, left is equal to somewhere else 60. That's why it is displayed here. So that's about the fixed. The other advantage of the fixed is, let's say you resize it. Either you resize or not, whatever you do, it will not change. Look at here. It is not changed at all. That's the meaning of fixed. That's the meaning of fixed. So now, can you give me the theory for the fixed? Fixed helps in arranging the elements with fixed positions, with fixed positions. Even you resize browser and or scroll it. Even you resize the browser or scroll the browser. Scroll it. Scroll browser. resize the browser or scroll browser, it will not move or affect. It will not move or affect. That is nothing but a fix. So absolute fixed. So any questions till now? So the other difference is what? If we make div as, just give me a minute. Hello? చెప్పనా టెన్కి ఉంటుందిలేండి రైట్ ఓకే చెప్పండి 10కి రెడీగా బాయ్ okay. So that's about this one. The other point for the fixed is what? If we let's have that conclusion. If we make div in bracket block level element, right? Block level. If anyone attended CSS3 interviews or HTML5 interviews, then they will come to know value of these points. I'm sure about this. Please start attending the interviews on HTML5 CSS3. Then you will feel the happiness of these points or taste of these points. Okay. If we move div, div is what? Block level element, right? Block element. Or sorry, if we move, it's not correct. If we make, not move, div, it's a block level element, BLOCK. If we make div as position fixed, then it will not take entire block of space. That's another advantage. That is another advantages. So that is fixed. So static everyone knows, absolute everyone knows. Absolute helps you to put the element in the specified positions, and there is one more advantage with the absolute. I'll show you in the next example. And the fixed everyone clears. So fixed helps in arranging the elements with fixed positions. Even though your browser resizes, scroll is, it will not affect or it will not move. If we make div as, div means block level element. I just given div here. You can say block level element. If we make block level element as position fixed, then it will not affect or it will not take entire block of space. Okay, now let's come back. So there is something called overlap. There is something called overlap. Okay, so this is, yeah. Relative position. Now let's understand the relative position. So the next one is relative position. Okay, please observe the differences because it's a bit tricky. Relative. CSS3 positions, relative position. Okay. Just give me a sec. So let me remove some of the steps. Okay, relative. Start understanding that, then we'll write the theory. So our understanding should be theory, not the textbook. Okay. So here nothing. So that's what I said. Inner level elements or inner divs. All these things. Div inside the div is called what? Inner div. Now look at the scenario here. I have a div. Please understand the scenario. I have a div. Inside the div, I have a page paragraph tag. I have one more paragraph tag. I close the div. I have a div. I have a paragraph tag, I have a div tag, I closed it. So that means what? This concept is div inside the div, that is called inner div. This concept is what? Div inside the page, that's what? This is a parent and child. For P1, which is the parent? This one. For ID, which is the parent? Body. Like that. So that means here we have parent and child related tags. That is the conclusion. Now if I run this program, what I am going to have? I am going to have plain text, because nothing is great there, because whether you displayed inner or outer, output is same. Output is same. That's the power of the CSS. Everything now you can visualize by this time what is the importance of the CSS. And if anyone says I am expert in the HTML5, they are dummies. You should not. You no need to be expert in the HTML5. You should be expert in the CSS. What is there in the HTML5? Nothing. So hardly you should know some tags. Okay, I need to have div, I need to have image, I need to have body, that, this and all. But okay, now come back. Look at here. Okay. Now look at this one. So I have 1. So that's nothing but the div. I have 2. That's nothing but the div. So for 1, I applied background color blue. For 2 also I applied background color. That's nothing but pink. Let me remove this. Okay. Let me remove this. Now look at the output till now. There is no big difference, right? So what is happening here? For div 1, I applied background color blue. That's why you see blue. And the radius I said 10 pixels. I already talked about radius. This edges. Padding I said 10 pixels. So that is nothing but top, right, bottom, and all these things. Margin 10 pixels. Top, right, bottom, all these things. That's why you see. Now for div 2, that means for this. Please look at here. For div 2, that means for this, I applied background color is pink, radius 10 pixels, that, this and all. And let me remove this one for time being. Okay, now you don't see any difference. Till now everyone is clear. Now look at the next one. Look at the next one. So what is happening? So I am applying styles for the 2. What is 2 here? It is the inner div. Please look at here. What is 2 here? 2 here is the inner div. There is the outer div, there is the inner div. That means parent tag and this is a child tag. I don't want to repeat this concept. Please focus now itself. This is a parent tag and this is a child tag. Now, so till now we don't have any issues, we are able to reply. Now for child tag, that means for this, what I am doing? I am defining the height, I am defining the width, and I define the background color as black. Now look at this. Now look at this. So that's what the meaning. So for this div or for inner div, I said height is equal to 30, width is equal to 30, and background is equal to green. So height is equal to 30, width is equal to 30, background green. So you have small box now. You have small box now. No problem. Now look at the differences, please. So this box, this is the inner tag, and this is inner div, and this is the outer div. And no problem, when inner div is having a box, the box is displayed within the outer div. So we don't have any issues. Now let's apply some properties. Let's apply some properties. What is the property now? Position, I said absolute. Position, I said absolute. Now Now I said top is equal to 5 pixels, bottom is equal to 5 pixels. Now let me run this program. You see, this is moved out of this. Actually, this is what inner div in this div, but I lost the control. It is displaying somewhere else. Please look at the importance. Actually, this is a inner div. 2 is what? Inner div inside the 2. 2 means what? This pink color. But when I applied the position absolute and top 5, bottom 5, it moves somewhere else. And that means my inner div is going out of my outer div. My inner div is going out of my outer div. Now let's apply something called instead of top and all, right? So let's say left, bottom, right, 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 and there is something called bottom. Top, left, right, bottom. So right bottom, look at here. Let me run this. See, right bottom. Hey, look at here. What is this? This div is this div should be inside here. But when I apply some positions and all, it's going out of my control or out of my outer div control. It should not be. Now, how to make this inner div controlled within this outer div? That is the question. I'm repeating again. Okay. So the div 2 is inside div 2. That means what? The pink color is the outer div. Inside that we have a box that is nothing but div 2. Inside that there is a box that's nothing but the 2. That's nothing but the 2. I don't have any issues. Everything is perfect now. Because this is the inner div and it's available inside the outer div. But let me apply some positions. I said absolute. When you say absolute, what is the meaning? When you say what is the meaning of absolute? We already know what is the meaning of absolute, right? What is the meaning of absolute? Guys, wake up. Yeah. So wherever we specify the positions, in the positions it will place. So I said absolute. So and I said top, right, bottom. Right bottom means right side bottom here. So that's why it is going there. That means my inner div is going out of the control of my outer div. That is the problem. My inner div is going out of the control of my outer div. Okay. So therefore, and if you apply bottom, what is that? Top and right, top left. Top left means that one. You can also specify so many, whatever you want, that combinations. Now, if I apply this one, still it is going out of my control. Actually, it should be inside this control, or it should be inside this outer div. It's not there. That is the problem. So, how to have that? If you want to have that, then you will be using in the parent div. So, for this div 2, what is the parent div? The parent div is 2. So, go there and say position. Position is equal to, what is that? Relative. Relative. Position is equal to relative. Now see, whatever positions you apply, so that will be inside this only. Now you go and apply top and left, top and left. So you see here only. That's the meaning. That's about relative tag. Any questions now? Any questions now? If you don't understand this difference, I don't know how to explain them. Because this is a simpler example to understand. Now my inner div is controlled within my outer div. It's not going anywhere, even though you make it as absolute or whatever it may be. Now tell me the theory for relative. If you understood, then you have to tell the theory for absolute. Sorry, relative. Tell me the theory for relative. I don't know how to write the theory. Let's try to understand something. Let me draw one box so that we'll have enough theory. I'm sure everyone will forget. Okay, so this is called inner div, inner underscore div, and inner div is there in another div called outer div. Sorry, this is called outer underscore div. Now let's write the theory whatever we understood now based on this diagram. Okay, let me put this diagram here. Okay, so what is happening now? Tell me. Let's say
The content will.
Yeah, I'm writing the words or the explanation whatever I have given so that you will never forget. If you mug up it, you will always forget. Let's say if outer div is equal having if outer div having position what is that? Relative, right? Relative and relative spelling correct, right? If outer div is having position is equal to relative and inner div this is outer. I am fine even though it is taking time. Inner div tag is controlled with outer. Yeah, something is typed by Keshav. We can take that text. That is the conclusion. Okay, whatever you have given, that is the conclusion. Yeah, inner div is controlled within outer div tag by using a relative in outer div. Yes, that's correct. In outer div, that's correct. That is the conclusion. You have given good conclusion. Okay, so inner div tag is controlled within outer div tag by using position colon relative in outer div tag. Yes. So you need to remember. So therefore, relative when you will use, that is the question. Relative you will be using in outer classes. Relative you will be using in outer classes. If outer div is having relative and inner div div having position colon is equal to absolute. Absolute we have seen already. I clearly told absolute means arranges elements in specified positions. Okay. Inner div having position is equal to absolute. Then If outer div is relative and inner div having absolute, then your outer div is controlled. Sorry, your inner div is controlled. Inner div is controlled within outer div. Okay, that's it. So within outer div, that means it will not go beyond that. So any questions on this? If you have any questions, please ask me now itself. Any questions, please? Because this, I know, okay, this we are spending the time, but still it is worth. Okay, fine. Now let's go ahead and see the next example. So this is nothing but what? Float property, overlay property. Okay, these are the small concepts now. I can cover on the fly, maybe by spending 3 to 4 minutes on each program. And I thought of taking that examples, whatever I told yesterday, creating buttons, stylish buttons, all these things, but I did not get the time to type all those things. Today, I'm sure I'll type it. And don't miss tomorrow's class again, because you will be losing that concept, whatever I'm going to say. Okay, that's fine. Now look at this one. This is a program number 55. Okay, so let me not to have anything right now. Look at the difference. Look at here. So what is happening right now? What is there? Look at here. I have a page tag, nothing. There is no big grade there. Then I have one more paragraph tag, 1. Inside that there is huge text. Inside that there is a huge text. Now I'm trying to apply some stuffs in that. Okay, so let me take it out till now. Now look at here. What did I do? I did not do great here. So whatever we discussed, I applied. So for one is what? The paragraph tag. For 1, I applied background color is equal to green. That's why you see green. Font color white. That's why you see white. Border radius I said 8 pixels. That's why you see rounded corners. And padding 10 pixels, margin 20 pixels. That's how you see. That's how you see. Fine. Now I'm specifying the height. Look at here. So I'm specifying the height. Height is how many pixels? 30 pixels. Now look at here. So some text is going out of my div, out of my paragraph tag. So that means there is an overlay text. Now how to control the overlay text? Okay, so the next one is overflow property. Overflow property. So that's what you need to create the situation, then you need to understand. So now in this case I have a paragraph tag, but my text is going beyond that, and I don't want to even extend this one. See, if I extend the paragraph, then that's fine. Let's say simply I can go here and I can say 40 pixels. Then I'm good, right? It's not the requirement. My requirement is that height is fixed. My requirement is that height is fixed. Still I would like to have some solution to avoid this overlay or to avoid that overflow. So if you want to do that, then there are property called overflow. There are property called overflow. Overflow is equal to scroll. So if you say overflow is equal to scroll, so you will be getting a scroll. Text will not overflow, you will be getting the scrolls. Or you can say overflow is equal to hidden. Let's say DDN, hidden. What does it mean? If you look at here, so some text is hidden here. You cannot see that, that's it. So if anyone types more, you cannot see that, but still you see something is cut here. So that's about the overflow. Overflow property. Overflow. So it can be hidden or scroll or some of properties are there, you can see it. None always will be there. So you can see the difference here, because this is how sometimes if you want to practice it, you can go here, body. So for P tag I am trying to apply, so let's go to the P tag. So hidden, so instead of hidden you can apply something else. Auto means you are getting C, scrolls. Hidden just now I explained. Inherited. Inherited means from the parent tag. Parent tag is not having anything, that's why it is not doing it. Initial. Overlay. Overlay. It is same as scroll, but you will not have the scroll light and all. Scroll. You see the difference? Overlay and scroll. You guys are there? If you say scroll, you will get vertical scrolls and horizontal scrolls. If you say overlay, you will get only vertical scroll. You are seeing the difference in the screen, right? If you look at here, there is only vertical scroll. If I go for the scroll, you will get vertical scroll as well as horizontal scroll. Okay. So then that's all about. Okay. So what are the other properties? Scroll, overflow or overlay. What is that? Overflow. Auto is there, hidden is there. Overlay auto. Overlay auto, and so on. So some of the things are not important, don't worry about that one. Okay, that's about the overflow. Let's go to the next program. Let's go to the next program. That's nothing but the 56. So how many we have? Oh, only one program is there. So you have break for half an hour for the 10 o'clock class. Please attend the 10 o'clock class. Okay. Even I too also don't know. They are saying they are industry experts and all. Just see what they are trying to deliver, so that you will also understand what's going on the market and how the stuffs are there. I would expect everyone to attend that. Look at this one. The next one is, this is one, I'll say one beautiful thing. Cursor properties. What is that meaning? Okay, look at here. Let me remove the styles first. First understand what we have in the HTML. Okay, let me go to the code. I have a div1. Here div1 is nothing. I am in div1. Some text is there. I have a div. I have UL. UL is ordered list. Unordered list. Ordered list is OL. Unordered list. Inside that LI is LI. LI is what? List item. I already discussed all these things. These are the HTMLs. Don't ask me to go back again. Now coming here, I just have an anchor tag and something target. I specified some properties, and I am specifying href is equal to none. And I specified I am button. And specified I am button. And I added the URL. Now run the program. So this is what the output. So I just simply I have a div, I have a hyperlink. That's it. I have a div and I have a hyperlink. Now look at the differences. This is what? Cursor, right? And in some of the websites you will have different cursors when you move different places. So now the conclusion is how to have our own cursors and how to use existing cursors. Cursor properties. Cursor properties and how to use or how to use our own cursors. This is one important one in the real time also. That's what it see. Even though you don't apply, no one worries. But whenever you are developing the site, it's good to apply. See, look at here. This is my mouse pointer, cursor. When I go to the text, see, It is a text pointer. When I go to the button link, it is a link. It's like what? Something. So now, how do I change? When I go to the text, I want to show help cursor icon. We have so many cursor icons. I'll show you. Okay. So how do we do that? Look at here. So forget about this hover right now. So I am just applying background color, the these and all. So let me remove this for time being. Now see this. I did not do anything. Let me, what happened? So I applied a background color for the div. One is nothing but the div. And I applied a radius. I applied a padding. That's fine. Now go here. I don't see any difference. It's a normal mouse cursor. So whenever I move to here, I want to show a question mark icon. That's one kind of cursor. So that's called help cursor. So therefore I am specifying cursor is equal to help. When you say cursor is equal to help, now see, when you move to that area, see now you see the question mark. This is how you can use existing cursors. This is how you can use existing cursors. Like that we have some of the properties. Some of the things can be applied for something, some of the things cannot be applied for something. So right now this is a text kind of thing. So for text you can apply, I need to go to body, go to the body, go to the one. So right now it is cursor help. You can have something, so many are there, look at here. Cell and all these you will be using in the cell phones. When you go to the cell phones, how to do that, these and all. Help just now I told. Like this, so many are there. Default, no need to use. Help, there's no use. Let's see this one. What is this? Cross hair. I applied that one. Now see this. Guys, you are able to see the difference, right? Now there is no question mark. This is called crosshair. Okay, sometimes you see this kind of symbol or cursor pointer. So if you want to do that, you can do this way. Now, when I go here, I would like to have something different. Let me apply that too. So that is called a hyperlink. Now I am saying color is equal to something. Now look at here. Okay, that's fine. So default, horse, move, text, hand anyway it is coming, progress, wait, cell phone, all these things are there. Like that you can apply some of the styles. That's fine. Now how to use my own cursor? Look at here. When I hover on this, I would like to have my own cursor. When I hover on this, I would like to have my own cursor. So therefore, you can define the cursor. Your company will give, whenever they say, please have our own customized cursor, you can ask them, give this icon. See, right now this mouse, this hand symbol, this plus symbol, all those are what? Some images. Ask the company to provide that images. Assume that they ask you to have this as an image or have this as a cursor. That means when I mouse over on the hyperlink, I would like to get this cursor. See the requirement. Right now, when I mouse over on this, I am getting hand symbol. I don't want that. I want my own cursor. That's nothing but this one. How do I get that? If you want to get that, look at here. So when I want that my own cursor, I want when I move on, when I mouse move on, or when I mouse hover on A. So that's why I am saying A hover. I applied some blue color, that's fine. Then cursor, URL, you are specifying URL. Which cursor you want? Logo.php. Now see the difference. I am running this. Now you mouse over. See. Now you are getting the cursor called your own cursor. That is how you can define your own cursors, and that is how you can use the existing cursors. Okay, now see, blue color is also applied. When hover, I said blue color. When hover on that, I said blue color. And I also specified logo.png is my own cursor. That's it. So this is how you can do it. How to have your own cursor, that these are cursors, cursor properties. What are the cursor properties? Cursor, 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 colon. What are the properties we applied till now? There are so many cursor properties like hover, move, that, these and all. You can have some stuff. So URL is used for what? To write our own cursors. That's what I have given here. Dash dash. Dash dash. So if you look at here, URL. When we use URL to write our own cursors. If you want to write your own, or if you want to have your own cursor, then use URL. Cursor colon URL. So after this, I am just using default. What does it mean? If this logo is not found, then it will use the default one. That's nothing but a hand symbol. Let's look at it. I am putting logo1.png or logo2.png. Logo2.png is not there. So if something is not there, then you will get the default one. That's nothing but a hand symbol. Sorry, that's nothing but a mouse pointer or blue color or default is nothing. So default is nothing. So you can also have hand symbol. Oh, what is that? Hand symbol. So that means if image is not found, then you will get the hand symbol. Hand symbol. Now you see, hand symbol is there. Like that you can apply whatever you want. Default, hand symbol, that, these and all. So default, URL, move. Just now we applied one thing, right? What is that? Para, ars is something. What is that? What we applied? Some cursor you applied, right? What is that? HA something. What is that name? Guys there? Cursor. Just now I applied and shown you right here. Plus symbol is coming on. Which is the one?
Cross something.
Why it is not showing now? Okay, let me see. Cursor. Where is that?
Crosshair.
Oh, it starts with L. Oh, cross. Okay. Yeah, crosshair. This one. Yeah, it's crosshair, not a horse. Okay. Okay, let me paste that also. And so on, so on, so. So that's about how to use the custom cursor, how to use our own cursor. So URL we can use for custom cursors. So anyway, examples also we have seen. So it's nothing. Custom cursor means you are just going to specify your own logo. That's it. Nothing more than that. Now let's look at the last one for today. I don't know what is this here. What is this? This is a simple example. So text and images. Anyway, this is I already covered many times. I just want to show the finally ones. So the text and images. Text and images. me go here. So these are some of the concepts. So let me make it as bold. It's not points. These are the concepts. That's fine. I think we are getting good amount of document also. Fine. Now, what is the meaning of text and this, that, and all? Let's look at that quickly for this. So let me remove the styles. Now let me run this program. What is happening right now? Look at here. I have a div tag. Okay, that's nothing. I have a page tag, or inside the div, I have paragraph tag. Inside a div, I have a paragraph tag, and inside that I have an image. That's nothing but this one. After that, I have so much of text. So much of text. Now, if you look at here, image is displayed. After the image, text is coming. If you look at here, this space is wasted. I don't want that way, and no website supports this way. So, how to arrange images and text properly? Okay, look at here. So now one is what? Div. For div, I am applying blue color, border, padding, margin and all. So look at here. For this div, I applied blue color. Okay, radius, margin, borders, everything is applied. Okay, everything is applied. Now, if you look at here, I would like to arrange this text next to that image. So if you want to that, what is the solution? Can you tell me now? Everyone should know by this time. What is the solution? Float. Okay, so this is coming from where? This is coming from the image, right? Image ID. So image ID, I am saying float left. So if you say left, so when I say image ID, float left, so the right side space will be released. Once it is released, automatically your content will move. See, look at here. What I am saying, ID or image ID. Image ID, I said what? Float left. Float left means what? So the right side space will be removed or released. Instead of removed, let's use the term called release. If you look at here now, so whenever you say these are called what? Black level elements. When it is a black level element, obviously it takes entire space. To release the entire space, what you are going to use? Please use left float. Left float means this image will be displayed. After the image, whatever space is there, that will be released. So once that space is released, automatically the content will be used. That's it. Now you want to have some margins here. So if you want to have some margins, you can use it. Okay, so you can use the margin right, 45 pixels I am putting. Now you see 45 pixels. So there is a space. That's how you can arrange text and images. Text and images. That's all about. If you have any questions, you can ask me, else we can stop here. And tomorrow is the final class for the CSS and all. So I'll try to execute some programs how to create the menus using CSS. So how to create the menus, how to create the buttons, how to create some stylish graphics, all these things. Tomorrow I'll not spend time like this each one. Because of the reason is, now I explained everything, how each tag works. Only thing is that tomorrow if I say, okay, I'm using relative here, so you should be able to understand. If tomorrow if I said I am using absolute position here, you need to understand. Because using that CSS positions only will do most of the stuff. If you want to create the menus, you need to have positions. If you want to create stylish buttons, all these things, one after one, all these things, positions are very much important. So tomorrow I'll try to show maximum as much as possible. So if some tricks and tips also we'll see tomorrow. That's all for today. Any questions? You can ask me now.